coming down with this really some super wrestling for you in All-Star Wrestling. One of the things that we do have, you will remember several weeks back, Diamond Timothy Flowers won the BCTV championship belt. And since he's had that belt, he's been allowing a lot of challengers. He's had people like Randy Rich challenging for his belt. He's had people like, well, I was going to say Rick Patterson, but not Rick Patterson, but Mike Dupree has had a challenge for that belt. Several people, nobody has taken the belt from him. He's going to do it again. The belt is on the line right now in a BCTV championship belt match between Diamond Timothy Flowers from Fire Island, New York, and the spoiler at 255 pounds. Diamond Timothy Flowers, once again, putting that belt on the line. You can see him hanging on the belt there. He'll hand the belt down to brother Precious Peter Flowers. And that, of course, is officially giving up the belt because Precious Peter has handed the belt off. There's the bell underway. The BCTV championship belt is once again on the line. Diamond Timothy Flowers on the spoiler. And Flowers getting off to a fast start. Although this is for a championship belt, there is only a 10-minute time limit on this match. We've been holding the BCTV championship belt match to a 10-minute time limit. And Flowers getting off to a fast start. Working effectively with that saw. Oh, a little bit of face ripping there. Got a finger underneath that mask. And the spoiler comes off the ring. Right into the elbow of Diamond Timothy Flowers. Hey, look at this. As the spoiler grabs onto those legs. And he's pulling a choke on Diamond Timothy Flowers. But Flowers, in turn, I think, got a finger in the eye of the spoiler. Diamond Timothy Flowers, the current television champion. And there have been several challengers for that belt, but so far he's managed to hang on to it. 10-minute time limit. Diamond Timothy Flowers. Working on the spoiler. You can't see it on the screen right now, but brother Precious Peter is down in the corner, Diamond Timothy Flowers' corner, watching the situation very carefully. And, of course, I would have no doubt in my mind that if Diamond Timothy could maneuver the spoiler over into that corner, Precious Peter might just do a little handiwork on him. And once again, Diamond Timothy Flowers works the finger into the eye of the spoiler. Now he's trying to work on the spoiler's legs. Now, last week, for those of you who are watching All-Star Wrestling, last week, the spoiler in his match, for some reason, turned an ankle or did something. But he certainly did hurt that left ankle. And it's been hurting him all week, I understand. And Diamond Timothy Flowers is taking good advantage of that. Right there, take a look at that. Now, imagine you've got a sore ankle to begin with. That hurts. And Diamond Timothy Flowers is smart enough to know to keep working on the tender part. And the spoiler now trying to work head scissors in on Diamond Timothy Flowers. Kind of makeshift head scissors. He's got an arm tucked in there as well. And he's just pounding away on the head of Diamond Timothy Flowers. Flowers manages to get clear. Diamond Timothy Flowers pulls him over the rope, and look at that. Gets his leg up and just jumps on it. And, of course, the leg just doesn't bend that way. Good way to break a leg. If it wasn't for the fact that these guys are in darn good shape to be able to wrestle, that would probably break the average leg. Diamond Timothy Flowers once again staying on that left leg. He knows the answer to that question is to just keep working on that left leg. As we said, that leg has been hurting him. He knows that. And He's going to make sure that he just keeps working on that left leg. Referee Vern Siebert telling him to break the hold as Flowers got his arm up out of the rope. And look at this. He's really putting a choke hold on Diamond Timothy Flowers. And once again, the spoiler, as you can see, is having problems walking. Flowers has done such a number on that leg. But the spoiler is, he's literally hobbling in that ring. It's going to be very difficult to come back when you can't stand up in the ring. 5 minutes away in this 10-minute time limit BCTV championship match. Diamond Timothy Flowers, the defending champion, really doing a number on the spoiler's leg, and that hurts. That really hurts coming from that distance. And you saw earlier that the spoiler is having he's going to call standing on that leg. He is really favoring that leg, and Flowers is going to take advantage of that. I'm sure there's a bit of a headbutt. Didn't really land it as well as he wanted it to, but I think enough to daze Timothy Flowers. Flowers kicks out of that. And one more time. There's a real cocoa butt for you. Jerry Morrow should be watching. My Lord. Haven't seen anybody throw a head like that since Jerry Morrow was in the ring. Diamond Timothy Flowers, as you can see, is down on the concrete outside the ring. That's Precious Peter that's talking to the referee. Flowers went out, and I think he might have hit his head on the concrete on the way down. And Flowers has been thrown out of the ring many times before, but normally he's back in the ring before this. And I think that's what he's motioning there. He did hit his forehead on the concrete, in addition to getting that headbutt from the spoiler. Kind of a double whammy, as it were. And Flowers turns that situation around pretty well. Gives the spoiler a view of the turnbuckle. The bell has gone. 1, 2, 3. And that is it. I think the bell went off by accident. It did. The referee ignored that. That definitely was not the time. So that will hold the 1, 2, 3. And it goes. The match will go to Diamond Timothy Flowers. We'll get up to ringside and have a word with him. Diamond Timothy Flowers defending that championship belt. And he has once again. Still the spoiler, as you can see, is down at the edge of the ring, hanging on to that belt.
I always hang on. I don't know who rang the bell, but the bell would not have been sounded because the match is not over. And so I apologize and then it beat him.
Well, I think even the crowd will give you that one, Diamond Timothy. The bell went, obviously something went wrong. The bell went off. Even the referee said that, so nobody's going to argue that one with you.
Yeah. I still won, Ed Carl. I don't care what the people think.
Well, there's no question that Diamond Timothy Flowers, that's about 5 times now you've had challenges for that belt. Still hanging on to it.
That's right, because I am a true champion. I am the people's champion.
I was going to take a word in here. It's always hard to get a word in with Precious Peter Flowers, but Peter...
That's right, my brother's a champion.
You should never get in the ring with a guy like Timothy Flowers.
I can tell you how this came about. I know you weren't here, but I can tell you right here on All-Star Wrestling. Some of the fans would say that Bob Steele gave a rather quick count on a couple of Diamond Timothy Flowers matches, and that's what got Flowers' anger up.
I see that. Well, you and I have seen Steele referee, and this has happened quite a few times. And sometimes the referee does give a quick count, a 1, 2, and a 3, and sometimes, just like a while ago in the first match, the bell rang when it shouldn't have rang. I guess the timekeepers, referees, they get excited during the match, and they get sort of carried away. And,
exactly.
And things do happen, but you got to expect this in a wrestling match. But again, there's Steele. He's going against a guy like Timothy Flowers, who doesn't give a care really what he does, where he does it, what he uses to win a match. You got to be pretty stupid unless you really know what you're doing.
You imagine that guy. I mean, they offered a $10,000 contract, and, well, I don't even want to talk about it.
Ed, $10,000. I mean, I'd get in the ring with King Kong if I had to. I'd even get in the ring with Big John Baker, who's just as big as King Kong. But, again, you just see the way Flowers acts. I mean, the man's not all there, really. I don't even know how he got into professional wrestling.
Well, of course, then there's Brothers Flowers.
Well, I don't even want to talk about that guy. That man should be brought out here in a straitjacket. Did you see what he did? He literally ate that contract.
Well, I know. In some of the interviews, from time to time, I like to let the listeners, to have a word so they can understand and see what some of the wrestlers have to say. And my greatest fear is that he's going to swallow the microphone.
Well, tell me, so far, you've talked to him about 2 or 3 times now. Can you understand what Precious Peter Flowers is saying?
That's not correct. I have never talked to him. He has yelled into my microphone, but I've never talked to him.
I think once you and I start understanding what he's saying, we better get out of this business.
I think you might have something there.
Again, there's Flowers. Steele's doing a pretty good job, but again, he has to be pretty stupid to get in the ring with a man like Flowers, and especially turn his back. Now, I can see what's happening now. That was a pretty good move in behalf of Steele.
Well, Steele hasn't really been wrestling this one by the book. If you've been watching here carefully, he's not really been playing by the rule book in this match.
Well, Steele hasn't been in the ring. See, there's a very Steele move. He goes and turns his back on Flowers. I mean, you don't turn your back on a man like Flowers. You got to keep looking him right in the face, and that might be pretty hard, because when you look at the face of the guy, you can't help but laugh, really. But again, there's the Flowers' favorite move, a punch to the throat, in the eyes there. Now, that's not really wrestling. But again, it wins matches, and that's the whole thing. Professional wrestling, people say, how come you're punching and kicking and this is not really wrestling. But if you go back to the days of the gladiators, you know that when it was thumbs down, man, you lost your life. You didn't just get hit in the throat or hit in the head.
Well, you have to give him credit in one sense. I realize that he may not play by the rule, but he does win matches. Flowers is a top wrestler.
I have to agree with you. I don't think I've ever seen him lose a match. And if he does win, again, Ed, you and I know that he doesn't really win by the rules. As he said, he never breaks rules. I think I used to say that, and I think I broke every rule in the book. But again, you got to win matches. You win matches any way you can. You get paid by winning.
There's no question that that's exactly the way Flowers handles the situation, but I wonder what's going to happen when he gets in that ring with Tiger Jeet Singh.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to bet my money on Tiger Jeet Singh, because I just sort of feel sorry of what happened. I think you just can't go insulting people's integrity and insulting the nationality, the race, or whatever. Flowers has a bad habit of doing that. You know, and I know that. And I think there's going to be about 10,000 people there. And I'll tell you something. When there's 10,000 people of my nationality, my race, I'm going to say, please, sir, yes, sir, and no, sir.
Wait a minute. How did he get away with bopping the referee in the head deliberately there without getting a suspension?
See, there's one thing. I can see the ending coming up now. You got Mike Dupree. See, there's something that we haven't got a commission now. As you know, what's happened here, we need a commission here, and I think we should have one. In fact, the people should demand to have a commission here to represent Vancouver. As you know, we're ruled by the NWA. Bob Cagle is the president. But again, you got to have a man here that sees wrestling and watches the Vancouver wrestling. Vancouver wrestling, bar none, is the roughest, the toughest professional wrestling you're going to see on television.
I think you're absolutely right, and I agree with you. I think the fans should demand that there be a special representative or a third match of the day on All-Star Wrestling, a match between, you see him there with a towel and the pink bopping booties. That is Sir Joseph Cagle from Austin, Texas, who weighs in at 225 pounds. And his opponent for this match from Macomb, Georgia, Randy Rich. Randy Rich, 220 pounds. Randy, 6'2" tall, 2 years of professional wrestling, former Rookie of the Year in the NAWA. And Joe Cagle, Sir Joseph Cagle, better known as Josephine by the fans at All-Star Wrestling. He was a former Southern AWA Tag Team champ. And Joe Cagle is the cousin of Diamond Timothy Flowers. Hey, look at Randy Rich go as he wants to get off to a fast start in this match. He's out there in one big hurry. Randy Rich, right off the bell, decided to make a match of it and to get in there. And as I've mentioned to you several times before, when this guy Rich is going, he flies, literally. And Bernseaver telling him to back off a little bit. But Joe Cagle getting off the rope. And Joe Cagle watching Rich very, very quickly. You can hear the fans. They're saying, let's go, Randy. No question which side the fans are on. Randy Rich quick with the boots and arm drag. And Joe Cagle. Joe Cagle complaining to the referee about something. I'm not sure what. And Cagle can throw a boot up there as well. Joe Cagle using a hard open hand, side of a hard open hand to the throat. Yeah, look at Randy Rich. Grabs out of the boot of Joe Cagle. And now starts to work on the leg muscle. And, of course, look at Joe Cagle going up to the hair. I'd like to once again say a special hello to all of the many fans that we have who drop letters along to All-Star Wrestling. We do appreciate them. And I can tell you some of the comments that Master Sergeant Tonto was making earlier with regard to the fact of needing a special representative or commissioner here in Vancouver. And I would say that Janet from Guelph, Ontario, thank you for your letter. I agree with some of your comments. One of them she's saying in here, Flowers is a real cheater. And, well, I don't know for sure about that, but not for me to say. However, there's certainly a lot of comments that way. Mr. and Mrs. W.B. Meade from Chilliwack, I appreciate your comments on that as well. And those problems also, sir, would be solved if we did, in fact, have some sort of a commissioner. And if you people feel that way, drop us a line. Let us know. It's All-Star Wrestling at Post Office Box 8888, Vancouver, B.C. All-Star Wrestling at Post Office Box 8888, Vancouver, B.C. The zip code V6B4A3. Drop a line. You can drop a line to yours truly, Ed Carl, or your favorite wrestler, or write it to the promoter. Let the promoter know that you feel that we should have some special representation here to control some of these wrestlers. And look at Randy Rich. Rich is going to pull it, and he does. Pulls it right off the rope. Fans love this one. Randy Rich doing a real job here on Joe Cagle, and all the fans love it. Joe Cagle is just not very popular with the fans, as you can expect, being the cousin of Diamond Timothy Flowers. I'm sure it would be enough to do it. But, of course, normally he comes in wearing his little pink dress and all the paraphernalia. That's how he got tagged with Josephine. Randy Rich and Sir Joseph Cagle. Rich working on that leg of Joe Cagle. However, Cagle, on the other hand, gets his hand up there, does a pretty good job of hair pulling. Joe Cagle having his legs adjusted for sure by Randy Rich. You can hear him screaming from here. As Joe Cagle reaches out and grabs onto the rope. Randy Rich. And Rich is going to do it again. You betcha. Watch this. He'll pull him out there. Drops him on the rope. On the mat rope. Really working. On Randy Rich. Joe Cagle managing to throw a right elbow. And there's a low blow from Joe Cagle. That'll slow Rich down a little bit. Randy Rich now is going to have to get back up as fast as he can, or Cagle's going to really start gaining some points here, and here he goes. Joe Cagle with a back body drop that almost throws Randy Rich right out into the crowd. Joe Cagle, as we said, a former Southern AWA Tag Team champion. Diamond Timothy Flowers, his cousin. So, of course, the Diamond Timothy and Precious Peter, of course. And, of course, there's something about those pink boots, I think, that really get the fans going on Joe Cagle. And here's Cagle stretching out Randy Rich. He's got him perfectly in the stretcher. Arm bar. And working on the neck. Just pulling on that arm. Now we'll twist it a little bit. Randy Rich trying to land a hard right. Didn't quite land the way he thought it should. And the fans getting on Joe Cagle. Cagle does not like that. Now once again, the fans get into their goal, Randy, goal routine. This just drives Cagle wild. He does not like that. There's Joseph Cagle. I don't know who knighted him. Randy Rich looks at a hard right hand. Brings that knee up. Right in the breadbasket of Cagle, around the other way, and here he comes. But, Cagle was smart enough to get out of the way. And Rich has got his back turned to him. Now getting Randy Rich, you have to appreciate it's only 2 years of professional wrestling. What a spot! Well done. Very well done. 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. Goes to Randy Rich. Randy Rich over Joe Cagle. And Cagle is really steaming, as you can see. He threw Rich right out of the ring. The bell is gone. Rich has won the match. But he is down on the concrete. You can see our camera on the far side has got Randy Rich. He's definitely hurting. He did win the match. A match awarded to Randy Rich. But Joe Cagle, of course, very upset about that. Threw him out of the ring. We'll see if we can't get a chance to get down to ringside and have a word with Randy Rich, if he can talk to us at this point. Not sure whether he's going to or not. Randy Rich is obviously hurting. We were going to try and have a word with him, but I'm not too sure whether they're going to let him come down here or not. Give him a second to be down here. Randy Rich is, as I said to you before, is really picking up speed. He's a very fast wrestler. And you may have noticed that lately he's winning a lot more matches than he's losing. So you can keep your eye on this guy, Randy Rich. Joe Cagle, on the other hand, is a very tough customer. And Cagle's a guy that you have to really watch as well. Having the Flowers family in his background isn't going to do him any harm at all. Here comes Randy Rich. Randy, are you able to talk? He took a pretty tough throw there.
Yeah, so it hit my head against those bleachers there, Ed. I don't know what's going on out here. Every time I seem to beat somebody, move ahead of them, beat them, it seems like they're coming after me from behind after my hands raised in victory.
Our fourth match of the day is a duration match, and this one should be a goodie. You can see him there in his gold lame. Pretty boy Rick Patterson. Rick Patterson from Hollywood, California. And his opponent for this match, Wildfire Mike Dupree. Mike Dupree from Sioux City, Iowa. Mike at 210 pounds. Patterson at 230 pounds. This will be a duration match. Should be a great match between these two. Patterson currently not in favor with the Flowers people. The old Memphis Mafia group and the Flowers people kind of falling apart here. Patterson falling out of the fold. That Mike Dupree. This guy Mike Dupree is a very surprising wrestler. And Dupree has a real haymaker on Patterson. Rick Patterson taking a lot of his training from Diamond Timothy Flowers. Now, he may not be in the Flowers group anymore, but he learned a lot with that period. And Mike Dupree. Throws Patterson across the ring. A back body drop on Patterson. And here's Dupree now, working a knee to the back. Into a chin lock. And you can hear Mike Dupree saying, ask him, ref, ask him. See whether he can get Patterson to submit. And Rick Patterson on the wrong end of that one from Mike Dupree. Here's Patterson. Now Patterson is getting mad. We've seen him get into this before. Rick Patterson has taken a bit of abuse here in the first minute or so of this match, but I don't think, if I know Rick Patterson, he's going to let Dupree get away with that. Back across the ring, returns the favor, a back body drop on Dupree. And, of course, that's from Rick Patterson. Patterson's way up in the air there. He's about 6'3". You get a back body drop off Patterson, particularly when he flips a fellow like that, and this fellow's coming down from about 7 feet in the air. Off the rope. Rick Patterson and Mike Dupree. And Patterson bodies lands Dupree. Landed that one perfectly. You can see Dupree is definitely hurting after that one. And Patterson. Mike Dupree saw that one coming. As Dupree brought that leg up, put an end to that in a hurry. And here's Patterson now. Across the ring, hard with the knee. And Dupree, as you can see, really felt that one, but Dupree's not yet by a long shot. Look at him work those legs in. Mike Dupree, very quick getting those legs in the air. And again, as I said to you earlier, this guy Dupree's a very surprising wrestler. Never count him out. And referee Vern Siebert's got the count going, saying, come on, guys, get in there and wrestle. Frankly, at this point, I think both of them are hurting a little bit. And Mike Dupree lands one on Patterson. Across the line, and Mike Dupree tried to grab onto Patterson as Patterson came off the rope, did not get a good grab. I think in that particular case, Dupree hurt himself as much as Patterson's going to try for the cover, but Patterson's not ready for that. Kicked out of there in a hurry. Rick Patterson. Patterson dropping a knee. Down on Dupree. Boy, can you imagine what's going to happen at the PNE Gardens? I'll tell you, when wrestling returns to the Gardens on October 17th, look out. There's going to be something. Tiger Jeet Singh and Diamond Timothy Flowers. That thing has been brewing for about 2 months, ever since the last time at Carousel. And Timothy Flowers saying the Tiger Jeet Singh won't show up. And let me tell you, I'm sure the Tiger Jeet Singh will show up. They end an interesting match. Patterson really taking a little abuse on that right leg from Dupree. That's Mike Dupree. And Dupree once again gives him a kick in that same leg. Does it again. Certainly going to work it for all it's worth here. Patterson's leg looks like a pretzel. There's Dupree. And worked those moves in very well. And, of course, you can see Patterson grabs for the hair. Catches Dupree on the side of the cheek. Now, look at this. Mike Dupree again going to work on that leg. Awfully close to the ropes here. Going to have to be careful, but Patterson does not break clear and grab onto those ropes. What one of our great wrestling fans, Jesse. Everybody knows Jesse. Jesse's up at the ringside and yelled out at Patterson, said, "Now where are the Flowers brothers to help you?" And I guess that's true. Certainly Rick Patterson won't get very much support from the Flowers brothers. And now Patterson working on Mike Dupree, but no question, Patterson from here on in is going to have to do it on his own. Not going to get any support. Rick Patterson.
Come on, keep the hands open.
Patterson drives a hard fist into Dupree. Referee Vern Sieber telling him to open those fists. And Dupree tried to spin that around. That didn't work out too well. He's down on the ropes. And once again, Rick Patterson goes for that throat. Look at this, Mike Dupree. Spins that around, pulls an arm drag on Patterson. And Patterson did not expect that. That winded him for a while. Quick look into the turnbuckle. And Mike Dupree tiring now as well. But got command of this situation with Patterson. Flying drop kick from Mike Dupree. And Dupree going to try for the cover, but Patterson's got the rope. Dupree drops a knee from the second rope. And again on Patterson. Trying for the cover. Of course, Patterson has hand out to the rope. Referee Sieber makes him break that up. Across the ring. Now Patterson. Patterson is running the eye. Actually, he had his eye, Mike Dupree's eye, on the rope. He's trying to rub his eye on the rope. Seen that done before, but look at this. Mike Dupree gets a 2 count. Quick 2 count. And some of the fans getting on Vern Sieber saying he doesn't count fast enough, but frankly, that's not much about right from here. Now another 2 count. And the fans getting on Vern Sieber for a slow count. And Rick Patterson shows that he can work in those flying drops as well. And another 2 count. That gets nullified because Dupree got his foot up onto the rope. And Dupree, flying tackle, takes Patterson down, but can't hold him down. That's Mike Dupree. Now has hit Patterson down. Great difficulty keeping him there. Got him too far. Tried desperately to make it to the bell, but the bell goes. Ending this match. It's officially over. I don't know whether we can get him to end. That might be the hardest part. As Rick Patterson and Dupree just keep at it. Referee Vern Sieber trying to keep them apart. He calls it a draw. It is a draw. A draw between Patterson and Dupree. We'll be back after this.